Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So here is Russia and Belarus. They decide that they're gonna ally themselves because, Russia's military state probably, and this is quite embarrassing, but Russia needs help. It wants dominance over the Arctic, and so it can have more resources, and so it can put more nukes there, so it can attack America, because it's the closest route. So it decides to invade Finland because they forgot what happened in the Winter War, and they're dumb. So what happens here is Russian troops immediately enter Finland from all sides, from the Kola Peninsula, and their main goal is to obviously capture the capital, Helsinki. And after a couple of days of fighting, this is the front line. And Finland immediately activates all of its reserves, and they make a huge counter-offensive to push back the Russians and just to protect their country and their capital. So, after a week of fighting, this is all Russia has gained, a little invasion of Finland, well, of Russia from Finland. But Russia just says no and continues to invade as more Belarusian troops are coming, and so are more Russian ones. And the West is kind of just watching to see what happens, kind of like what they did in Ukraine. They're just watching to see if Finland will collapse right away. And after a month of fighting, Finland does not collapse right away. In fact, it's able to hold off the line. So Sweden here knows that if Finland falls, Russia might invade it. So it decides to join the war on Finland's side. So does Norway. And yeah, and eventually, the Russia threatens that it wants to control the entire Arctic. So Denmark gets involved because it has Greenland. Iceland shouldn't get involved, but they do anyway. The U.S. eventually gets involved, and Canada does as well. Should I color in all those islands? No, I probably should not, but I will do just some. Okay. So now troops are heading on their way to Finland. So Russia's like, we gotta move. We gotta move quickly. So Russian troops enter into Norway and they push in from here, even though literally no one lives there, and they scale up their invasion of Finland. And they even consider using nukes, but they know that there's no winners. So after a couple of weeks, Russia's now kind of winning, but now troops have arrived. So troops have arrived. Norway is able to be taken back and pushing into the Kola Peninsula and pushing some Russian troops out of here. And this is quite good, but it's not enough, as now the Russians have done a defensive, and it's for every kilometer of territory gained, there are a lot of casualties on both sides. So it stays in a stalemate for a little while, but let's just do this. Russia hates stalemates. It just does not like them. So it decides, and NATO does not exist by the way, is to invade Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, as it does not have enough enemies yet, and it wants to make a bigger enemy list, of course. So troops from Belarus enter into Lithuania and Latvia, and from Russia they also begin to invade the Baltics. And since NATO does not exist, the Baltics can't stand all these troops coming in. Lithuania surrenders, Latvia surrenders, and so does Estonia. That was a quick war for Russia. So now with this, they now have an area where they can do a naval landing, and they do just that. And they also begin to invade Finland from here. And now it's like Russia might actually have a plan. They push the troops out of their territory, and they continue to invade Finland. Poor Finland. But now what happens is Russia wants troops to stop entering Finland, so it can just happen. So from Estonia, they do another naval landing on to Sweden. They capture quite a bit of the country, and their goal is just to cut off this area of the Finnish, Swedish, Norwegian border. So troops here enter into Norway, and they begin to kind of just go down to try and cut off the supply lines. And this area also pushes up to try and do the same. But the West thought that was not okay. So a lot of troops are sent here, and a counteroffensive is made, and eventually all Russian troops are pushed out of Norway, and Norway begins to help Finland again. And now American troops are even arriving, and the southern part of Finland is retaken, and now they even take over, well, regain or liberate, whatever you want to call it, this part of Finland because they just had to. The naval landing here is split into two. This part is obliterated, and this part decides to surrender because they kind of have no choice. And now there's just one nice line. Finland is able to push out the Russians from their territory, and now they make even a landing in Estonia to try and liberate the country and the Baltics in general. They liberate Estonia, they push into Latvia and retake most of the country. They push into Lithuania a little bit, but not until they're stalemated. So now Russia's in deep trouble. Now a lot of troops are sent here and to take St. Petersburg, which after a week is able to be taken. It unifies with the frontier, and now Lithuania is fully liberated, and the Russian troops there surrender. A little bit of Western troops enter into Belarus, and an invasion of Russia begins. So this is quite good for the West. They're able to take quite a bit of the Kola Peninsula, and Russia does not want to go into deep trouble, so they decide to surrender as St. Petersburg is taken, and because they don't want to go into deep trouble, like I already explained. So let's just look at this peace treaty. Here is the peace treaty. So Finland gets the entire Kola Peninsula here, and the Baltics are getting really buff, especially Latvia over here. It just became long Latvia. So did Lithuania, kind of just long Lithuania. I mean, Estonia got a bit, but doesn't look as cool. And Belarus and Russia got ripped off. Like, Belarus probably got ripped off way more than Russia. Yeah. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button. Like, these countries smashed Russia and Belarus. No offense to anyone. And have a good morning, afternoon, or evening. Bye!